And let's talk about the NFL winners and losers of the trading deadline. So let's start off with my winners for the NFL trading deadline. My biggest winner for the NFL trading deadline is the Miami Dolphins. And the reason why I say the Miami Dolphins are the winners at the trading deadline is because of their acquisition of linebacker Bradley Chubb. And it was announced yesterday that the Dolphins, they reached an agreement on a 5-year, $119 million extension that includes a $63 million in guaranteed money to Bradley Chubb. The Miami Dolphins reached that deal with Chubb in the immediate aftermath of trading for Bradley Chubb. I love this move by the Miami Dolphins. You look at the Dolphins and what they have up front with Bradley Chubb. You got Christian Wilkins, you got Raquel Davis, you got Jalen Phillips. You add Bradley Chubb, an elite pass rusher, to that Dolphins defense. The Dolphins now are in a prime position to go on a playoff run. You're going to need pass rushers when you're going up against elite quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, like Josh Allen, like Justin Herbert, and like Joe Burrow. So I love this move for the Miami Dolphins. I believe the Miami Dolphins were the biggest winners at the trading deadline. Also, a winner at the trading deadline was the Chicago Bears. I love the pickup of Chase Claypool because you look at Chase Claypool since he's been in the NFL. Chase Claypool this season, this is just this year, he got 32 receptions, 311 receiving yards. He only got one touchdown. But I believe Chase Claypool is going to be a reliable target in that Bears offense with Justin Fields. That was the biggest issue that I had with the Bears offensively was they had no weapon for Justin Fields. They had no reliable weapons offensively for Justin Fields. Now, Justin Fields, he gets a number one receiver in Chase Claypool. This is Claypool for his career. He's been in the NFL for 3 years. He has 153 receptions, 2,044 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns. This is playing with and out of his prime, Ben Roethlisberger. And then this year, he was playing with Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, and he still was producing. So I love this acquisition for the Chicago Bears. You give Justin Fields a reliable target who he can throw the football to in this Bears offense. I believe that Claypool would have been even better with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. There were reports about how the Packers, they were interested in Chase Claypool, but the Steelers, they chose to trade with the Bears because they believe the draft pick will be higher with the Bears than it would be with the Packers. So they think the Packers are going to have a better season than the Bears, so the draft pick is going to be better. I understand that 100%. But as a Packers fan, I just get tired of being in the mix and so close to deals not getting done. That's another conversation for another day. But you look at some of these other moves yesterday. We got Nakeem Hines. He was traded to the Buffalo Bills. He was previously in Indianapolis. You got TJ Hawkinson from Detroit. He's now in Minnesota. That's a great pickup for Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. Because I believe Hawkinson, at his best, is a top 5 receiver in the NFL. You look at his numbers this season, Hawkinson, he has 26 receptions, 395 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. But for his career, this is playing with no names at quarterback. I mean, he had Matthew Stafford for a few years, but after that, it was bad for the Lions when it comes to quarterback. This is Hawkinson for his career in Detroit. He has 186 receptions, 2,068 receiving yards, 15 touchdowns. So I like Hawkinson on the Vikings. Irv Smith, their other tight end, he's going to be out 8 to 10 weeks. So this trade makes complete sense for the Minnesota Vikings. You add Hawkinson in the mix with Justin Jefferson, with Adam Thielen. You got Dalvin Cook in the backfield. There are no excuses for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins got so many weapons in that Vikings offense. There are no excuses for Kirk Cousins. I want y'all to get me on record saying this because he got weapons in that Vikings offense. They got elite skill position players in that Vikings offense. And he got a coach in Kevin O'Connell who believes in him. He really believes in Kirk Cousins. So Kirk Cousins has no excuses this season. And we got to see what he's made of. But you look at some of these other trades in the NFL yesterday. Calvin Ridley, he was traded from Atlanta to Jacksonville. He's suspended for the season, but he'll be a reliable target, and he can help out Trevor Lawrence in that Jaguars offense next season. Jeff Wilson, he also was traded to the Miami Dolphins. William Jackson III was traded from the Commanders to the Steelers. So it was some interesting trades yesterday, but I believe the biggest winner yesterday was the Miami Dolphins, and a close second was the Chicago Bears. Now, the biggest loser for me at the NFL trading deadline was the Green Bay Packers. And the reason why the Green Bay Packers were the biggest losers at the NFL trading deadline was because of their inability to go out and take risks so Aaron Rodgers can have weapons to throw the ball to. Chase Claypool was available. DJ Moore was available. Brandon Cooks was available. This reports right now about how Brandon Cooks is frustrated because he wasn't traded at the trading deadline. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to play for the Houston Texans either. They're rebuilding. I would want to get to a contender if I'm Brandon Cooks as well. But I believe the Green Bay Packers are the biggest losers at the trading deadline because with your current receiving core, you don't have the proper weapons in place to go on a deep playoff run. I'm not even sure the Packers are a playoff team right now. Like I said earlier, against the Eagles in that Week 12 matchup, that could be a game that the Eagles have to be on the lookout for as a possible trap game. But the Packers have no weapons on the perimeter that are worthy of being legitimate threats. Allen Lazard, he's the Packers' #1 receiver. Allen Lazard on an elite team with elite weapons, he's like a 4th or 5th receiver. You look at Allen Lazard. If Allen Lazard was on the Cincinnati Bengals, he would be 4th on the depth chart because Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd would be ahead of Allen Lazard. You look at the Buccaneers. If Allen Lazard was in Tampa, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Julio Jones would be ahead of Allen Lazard. So I believe the Green Bay Packers were the biggest losers at the NFL trading deadline, not adding another weapon for Aaron Rodgers in this Packers offense.